Hello, friends. My name is Sergeant Hoster of the Type Police, and I'm here with Officer Washington. We've got a perp on deck. A perp who claims to be, purportedly, an ENTP. This guy, EXTJ, ignoring TI Part 4, looks like he claims to be an EXTJ. Anyway, we'll see in the video.
No, that's not the video.
That's not the video. That's not the video we're pulling over. That's not the guy we're pulling over. We'll find out who it is after the song on Type Police. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type Police, Type Police, please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police. Welcome back. Let's watch a couple of minutes of this and see what we think.
Hi. So this is episode 4 of Ignoring TI in ECJs and ENTJs. So, what ignoring TI users would do, right, is that they would basically, valuing TI users place a significance on certain words that to ignoring TI don't mean anything unless the action is set or the method is set. So basically, how to explain it is basically they have ignoring TI users have a different meaning, set a different meaning for different words than valuing TI users. So basically, and this could cause some sort of minor confusion between the two types in relationships, because it would cause questioning and wondering, because an ECJ, for example, would see me accomplishing a task and they would say that I'm hard working, but to me that I'm a hard worker, but to me that task was so simple, and to me it felt like I didn't do enough work, or I didn't do work at all, and which is not FB, how other people feel, or how it felt to me. Which means that I can't be hardworking if I didn't feel like I worked hard enough. So, but to them, they would say.
I'm gonna pause it there at where he said, if I didn't feel like I worked hard enough. I don't know what the timestamp on that is, but I stopped it there, and I'll open it in a different tab next time. But do you have any initial thoughts, Washington?
He seemed to have plenty of pauses before he starts his articulation up again, which I find to be indicative of TI users. But
it's also indicative of FI users.
FI users as well. You're very right there, Spacey. Beat me to that. When FI users and TI users pause like that, they are going inside and checking their moral compass. That could be a feeling compass or a thinking compass. And they have a gesticulation with their body where they kind of look like they're puppeteering and making precise.
Who does this?
High TI users.
High TI users?
That's it.
Well, yeah.
TI and FE.
The observation I would make from that little first chunk is that the thing he's saying about some people thinking he's a hard worker, but the task was actually very easy for him and he didn't feel like a hard worker, and having trouble reconciling that, is a concept that, when rendered properly, I would resonate with when I was younger. Not anymore, really, but when I was younger, I always felt like I was not doing a good job because I was comparing the job I was doing against the job that I imagined myself potentially doing if I tried my hardest. And I always thought that I was therefore not doing a good job. It wasn't until I became an administrator and started comparing myself to, or started being in charge of the people who were like, being the comparer rather than the compared, and I realized everybody's terrible. But the thing is, he's doing it with such terrible FE. Like, I'm saying it now, and it plays probably poorly because it sounds arrogant or whatever, and sounds superior and shit like that. But I have a little bit more rope to play with because I'm old, in part. But regardless, he's doing a terrible FE job of presenting it. It makes you want to go like, boo, boo. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's contraindicative of ENTP. I do actually resonate with the idea, just not with his poor delivery of it.
And it seems unplanned. It's like it's almost spontaneous. He made this video and uploaded it. It's something I see perceivers doing more often. So I don't have a.
Let's keep watching.
Let's keep watching.
All right, so I'm gonna put it up locally, and thank you. There are my proper book, by the book glasses I got here. Washington, if you really want to be in full uniform, you should make a note of this. Excuse me, sir, you're gonna have to just sit there. You stay sitting on the curb. Officer Washington and I will be back with you in a minute. I just wanted you to make a note. These are the uniform glasses, so if you can find some that look like this, it would complete the uniform. Anyway,
I tried to ask for some, but y'all didn't have enough funding to give it to me.
Well, in the Thai police, you are expected to buy your own sunglasses. Now let's get back to business, Officer Washington. You're not here to bicker with a sergeant about uniform protocol. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's see. Where was that video I was watching? Here we go. It's this one again. So I'm not going to open it in here. I'm going to open it in another tab. And I'll find where we left off. Probably about 3 minutes or so.
I felt like I didn't work at all. Like, I felt like I didn't do much. I felt like it was just simple. Like, it felt like I was slacking off. I was being lazy. I wasn't working as hard as I could. I was basically on my phone listening to music. I was even like criticized for listening to music while working.
For reference, 250.
It was a job where you could do that, where you listen to music while working. But basically, this makes me feel like I'm not a hard worker. How could I be a hard worker if I was slacking off? Like, there are so many other people who look like they worked harder than me, or who worked harder than me. So how can I be a hard worker? But to them, but I guess they feel that I'm a hard worker, or I'm hardworking. But how could I be hard working or a hard worker when I didn't do much at all? So there's this differentiation in like the value that's assigned to different words with a given definition. So basically, so I'll give you a second example. Throughout my childhood or throughout my life, as I grew up, throughout my childhood, I was considered, well, basically, I was considered work loving, right? But I don't feel like I like working. But to them, to like my.
The thing is,
so bad for him.
he has a point, okay? He has an actual point he's trying to get across here about the ignoring TI. But he's doing a pretty choppy job of getting it across, right?
Yeah, it almost sounds to me like there's a, and I don't want to be like mean.
He's got some sort of presentational block.
Well, he has a disability. It sounds like a speech like an impediment.
I don't think he has a speech impediment, Kim. He's unaccustomed to making videos, and he's unaccustomed to presenting his ideas for presentation.
Yeah, he's not comfortable. You can tell.
And he's only got 2 subscribers. So the thing is, he probably only has a few videos. I don't know why. Is it Susie keeps throwing this guy at my feet?
Yeah.
I keep going, I don't want to do him because, he's only got 2 subscribers. I don't want to be mean at all. And he's still got some room for growth in his presentation and delivery stuff, right? Like, that his use of basically all the time is annoying, and the weird way that he repeated that thing several times was
Can I ask you something
jarring.
though? Can I ask you
But
something?
those will improve over time.
Can you, as an ENTP, relate to his awkwardness? The reason I think that you also are as intelligent as you are is both of your parents were educational majors. So you were, and you were brought up in a very...
I mean, they were both educators.
Educators, but you were also grew up in an affluent area. So you... I mean, you know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, it didn't hurt, Kim, but it wouldn't matter.
So all ENTPs come across as snooty, snobby, and educated, and
No, I mean, the thing that helped,
as you.
No, look, the thing that helped most of all was not affluent neighborhood or good education or anything. It was debate. Debate made me into a much more powerful ENTP than many.
Okay, so let's say we put this guy in debate. Can we improve him? Can you relate to him? Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, if he landed
awkward,
landed in a debate class with me, I would assess his ability based on his ability to get and regurgitate to me argumentational mechanics.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. Does it appear to you
well,
that he could do that?
I mean, I would say he has a point here that he's trying to make, but he's doing such a poor job of articulating it that I can't even really tell if it's a good point or not. But it might be still. I'm not convinced it's not. Let's watch the rest.
Do you think it's worth? Let's watch.
My role models, my role models, it was basically the fact that I completed tasks, meaning that I'm work loving. So to me, I didn't like the task at all. So how could I be a work loving person? I didn't even like what I was achieving, or was it what I was accomplishing, or I don't even like work in general. So how could I possibly be, by you, considered? How can you possibly even think, with all the criticisms, that I'm a work-loving person? That doesn't make any sense. So, and the fact of the matter is that my brother worked twice as much as I do, from my perspective, or from what I felt like, and he was told by my role models that he was lazy. But to me, it was like switched. It felt like I was lazy. I felt like I was lazy, and he was hardworking. How could I be hardworking, a hard work lover, and he being lazy? That is.
It just sounds really unfair.
He's repeating himself over and over again. And
That's a SI thing.
I don't think it's an SI thing. I don't know what's going on with his approach to narrative. I would say that, whatever your name is, let me see what your name is. Max, you need to take an active role in paying attention to how shit's playing in a video and make conscious artistic decisions or editorial decisions about what you want to include and what you don't want to include. Now, granted, most people, almost every single person, is going to, who's floundering a bit at the outset of their YouTube career, is going to escape scrutiny of this fashion because nobody's paying attention. But Susie has tossed you into the blender so many times that
Hey,
one of the times is
right now.
who was it then?
That out.
Who
You
was?
told us to find you with it.
I
You
know.
told us to find you.
I'm just saying, have a little
Now you said
compassion.
it twice. You said it twice now that I was the one throwing him at you. Like, hey guys, find me a video of some guy. And we do, and they're like, oh, it's Susie.
Okay, you won the point.
Yeah.
So Sergeant, should I take him out of the zip tie, or should we question him some more?
I mean,
Zip tie, handcuffs.
okay, let me ask you this, Officer Washington. If you knew that if you were to arrest him and be wrong, you'd lose your whole salary this month. But if you were to not arrest him and be wrong, you'd lose half your salary this month, what would you do?
I'm a humanitarian. I wouldn't arrest him.
Okay, so, but forget about him. I'm saying you are going to lose half your salary if you wrongly don't arrest him, and all your salary if you wrongly arrest him. Now, so I'm asking you, do you feel so much more confident that an arrest is appropriate than a not arrest, that you think the better bet would be to arrest him and risk losing more because the likelihood of losing it is lower?
Yeah, I wouldn't arrest him. I guess we're just saying, y'all don't pay enough anyway. So,
You're getting paid nearly 17,000 metaphysical dollars a month, Washington. You can buy a lot of ideas with that.
there's a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
17.
Well, I think we should arrest him. I don't think he's an ENTP. I don't feel comfortable letting this criminal walk the streets. He doesn't seem like an ENTP to me.
He's very informal. But my opinion is that he's introverted.
Where's the ideation? I'm hearing some ideas. I'm hearing this idea. How could it be the case that they thought I was hardworking when I didn't feel hardworking? I've heard this idea sort of hammered into us for the past 4 minutes or so of this video. So that's about all I've heard ideationally. I think an ENTP would manage to produce a little bit more than that in 5 minutes. Even if it's tangential, not relevant, or whatever, it wouldn't just be the same basic concept over and over again. I mean, do we want? Well, let's give him the rest of the minute and 30 seconds he's got, 36 seconds, because why not? Might as well watch the rest of the video.
Doesn't make any sense to me. So basically, it's just basically, I feel like theoretically it could be that T places a different value on words, on different words, and those values, the value that they signed in words is dependent on the method of a method of certain tasks, actions, objectives, and things like that, and how they were accomplished. So basically, that the achievement of the method gives you an assignment, makes you assign a certain word, like hardworking or whatever, or like work loving or whatever, or lazy, or something like that. But to me, it felt like I felt more like a lazy person. And on the other hand, for a TI user, FE user, is the way that other people feel about how I was working, or how good I am as a person, or like things like that, which is like defines whether I'm lazy, hardworking, or things like that. It would be, for FE, it would be just the emotional atmosphere of the situation, which would define a certain word that's assigned to, like lazy or like hardworking or things like that. So yeah.
Huh. So what was his point?
Meanings of words?
It seems like he has a either ENTJ or ESTJ who's appreciating him for something he believes he shouldn't be appreciated for.
Okay, so what's the takeaway from it? What are we supposed to learn from that?
That you should be appreciated based on your actual strengths, and not what people perceive you should perceive you're doing right.
Is he saying he's wrong or the other guy's wrong? In other words,
He seems to be saying the other guy's wrong.
he's
like
actually not hardworking.
Yeah, he believes he's receiving credit for.
So what's his explanation for why it is that guy uses the term hardworking?
Okay, here's what I took from it. The two terms of hardworking. Either you're working hard, but the TE user considers working hard finishing tasks. So it doesn't matter how hard you actually work, you finish the task, and that's the definition of being a hard worker.
I mean that's a pretty
subjective.
That's a pretty TI point though. It's a pretty TI distinction.
Could it be INFP maybe? Role TI?
I mean, yeah, that's always possible. INFPs can always sneak in there and fool you. The thing is, it shows you how easy it is to be distracted by the symbols of cognition rather than cognition itself. Because he sounds terrible. I mean, he's doing a terrible job of delivering the words and ideas he's presenting to people. And this is not inconsistent with the ENTP necessarily, because the ENTP or ENFP is going to tend to, especially when young, think that what matters are the ideas, and that everybody should and naturally does ignore delivery stuff, which is irrelevant, because the originality of your ideas is compelling enough that you can deliver it with some poop on top of it on a paper plate and people will still eat it. It's not true though.
I believe he's INTP.
I don't know if he's an intuitive thinker or not. I mean, it's so slow, his progress through the ideational chain there, that I'm not...
See, the reason I don't think he's an INTP is because he doesn't know economy of words at all.
There's a lot of repetition.
There's a lot of repetition.
He says he's an ENTP, though. I think we can all agree he's not an ENTP because he'd be more comfortable and fluid in his presentation than that. Even if it were bad, he'd be more likely to be bad by being too crass or too over the top. Not less likely to be bad by that kind of self-awareness that you're being recorded flubbery, which is what I think that was.
This seems like to not be a flow with
right.
rhetoric.
Do we arrest him or not, Officer Washington? I'm used to making these decisions unilaterally. Now all of a sudden I find myself in a much more difficult decision-making process.
You're giving me, yes, because I believe he's not an ENTP. He's definitely not an ENTP. Well, just based off the video, I can conclude right now he's not an ENTP.
I agree.
Further further observation.
I agree. And Washington, I got good news for you. If we're wrong, well, it's an honest mistake, and all he's got to do is spend a night or a weekend in jail. He'll be fine. I'm sure he won't hang himself like that lady in Texas. That concludes. Go ahead. Sorry.
Can I sing us out?
Oh, yeah, sure. For sure. Let me put on the instrumental version so you can sing over it.
All right, hold on. All right.
Ain't nothing like the instrumental version.
You have the instrumental version queued up too.
Yeah, I do. I'll play it. I'll leave the mic on so you can hear it. Okay? Here we go. Remember, you get like a little bit of extra head start because it goes a little bit longer. Here, you'll hear it. If I need to do it again, I'll do it again. Don't worry. This is a professional police force. We aren't afraid to include the failed attempts in the actual video upload. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Right.
Try it, Mike. You can't get tight.
And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, please pull that guy over. He says he's ISTP. Oh, type police. That's the best. That was the single best rendition of it, for sure. We were right in the pocket, right on the money. Thanks for watching, everybody.